standing on this ridge. It's where George Washington was standing, and he knew that he could stop the British Armada, which is the strongest force on the planet at the time, at this one section. Because you had to come up the Hudson River, you had to make a 90-degree turn, go over here, make a 90-degree turn, and then go back north. And so they're trying to get up into the north, and they figured out, well, if we put a chain across here, put cannons up here, we can turn them back. And that's where they turned back the British Armada. But this is the really cool part. When you're standing there and you're getting all this history, it's really cool because you're standing where George Washington was standing, in a really big piece of history. But what you found was, across the water, there's a little white house. And there were 2 nuns that lived in that white house. And they would come across in a boat every day and came to West Point. And the reason West Point is very religious, there's a huge cathedral, the largest pipe organ in a church in the world, 23,000 pipes on this organ. Ridiculous, right? But they wrote, Jesus Loves Me. And so I have a picture of the house of Jesus Loves Me, okay? So it's really, really cool. But it's West Point is actually, there's a lot of religion there when you find a huge cathedral like that. Really cool. Really cool history when you travel. So I would encourage everybody. Sometimes people say, don't travel. I don't have time. Make time. Travel. Enjoy it. Glad to be back. I appreciate David filling in for me last week, and he'll probably do some more of that in the future as well. I know he does a great job. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Friends to Die For. This week, this is something we probably don't talk a lot about. I actually don't know. I have never been in a Bible study. I've never heard a sermon. I've never had anything. What happens if your relationship fails? We're not talking about marriage. We always talk about that, right? Well, what happens with marriage? How do we make that right again? We never talk about friendship, right? If a friendship stops, man, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts a lot, especially when the deeper relationships, it can really, really hurt. And so a lot of times we don't talk about how do we recover from a broken relationship. So we're going to look at that today. And we're going to talk about, man, some of this can really, really hurt. So a question I want to start off with you is this. How much can you expect from your friend? I'm asking you the question. How much can you expect from your friend? Can you define who your friend is? So this is probably not talking about casual relationships, because 2 weeks ago we talked about friends to die for. And we talked about 2 different types of relationships, the relationships that will come and go in your life, but there's other ones that are going to be really deep and long-term. I'm really talking about the long-term ones, not the casual relationships. Casual relationships will come and go. And we talked about that, and that's okay. We're talking more about deeper relationships.
Expectations in any relationship are a bad idea.
Are a what?
Bad idea.
Any expectations, interesting, are a bad idea. What you said. Did you say it too? Oh, hey, let me say those things, not you, okay? I'll do that. Go ahead. No, I want to go back. I want to talk about this. It's good. I like it.
We learned this in our marriage counseling. It's like the one little nugget of wisdom I took away. Not the one, but
we're doing all the good this morning.
She's not expecting much from you.
just have low expectations.
Okay, so have low expectations. A lot of times people say have low expectations because fewer hurts. Don't have to raise that bar too high. If you keep it low, it's easy.
If you are thinking, when you come home, it's in a great mood,
Yeah.
you're ready for him to come home, and then he comes home and he's in a bad mood, then that starts a fight because you had an expectation of what was going to happen.
Okay.
Want it to happen.
Sure. Okay, so there's short-term expectations that we can have. Maybe thinking of a day, how something's supposed to happen, an anniversary, a birthday, something like that. You're like, hey, I had those expectations. Yeah. Depends on your season, okay, on what part of life you're in. Good.
Well, if you know that friend well, then you can't expect more from them than you know they're able to do.
Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
it goes along with the seasons. Like
Yeah.
certain seasons in life with my friends, I expect them to come and be a part of my life without hurting.
Sure.
They know they're not going to get much from me at that point.
Okay.
Then it changes.
Okay.
As life changes.
I don't think we can expect from our friends what we're not willing.
Okay. So whatever we put into it is what you're going to get out of it as well. Really good stuff. This is going to be a barometer. This is why I started with this question. This is a barometer of what you really expect with your relationships. When you're coming in with high expectations and I expect you to do this, well, we're going to have some problems there. And I also want to say, some of my friends, I do have expectations, and they're not low expectations because I really want them to be my friend and I need them in my life, right? So I don't have low expectations. There are those I do have these expectations. The thing I want you to see today is that relationships are extremely fragile, right? They can come and go. There can be hurt involved. There's a lot of things that can happen within a relationship, and it's something that we need to work on and that we need to know. We're loaded with baggage. We're loaded with what's going on in our lives. Some of the friends that we have, you have connected with them because of the emotional and circumstantial things that have happened in your life, right? You connected with somebody, like, oh man, I went through that too. Well, that can begin a relationship there. But we're bringing a lot of different things into that, okay? A lot of times we go into relationships with expectations at the very beginning. I always call it the honeymoon stage of anything, with a job or with marriage or with even friendships. You can go into that honeymoon stage and everything is going great, but then you kind of realize, you know what, there's some character flaws going on here, or there's some things that we don't line up with. Well, how do we handle those kind of things and those expectations within our relationships? Let me ask you this. Why do friends fail? Why do friends fail? Okay, because of those expectations, absolutely. Anything else?
Well, just time and distance. Sometimes, I had great friends in college and we all moved off and, they're thousands of miles away. They've got their own life.
Yeah, so
It's
just
seasonal.
good. I'm going to jump in here. Sometimes I think what you're talking about, major change. Can you see that? Can you turn that light off? I think it's a right switch. Major changes in our life happen, right? There's a lot of, what could be some of those? I had a really good friend that we had different dreams. We have different goals. When you have different dreams and different goals, what happens to your relationship? We didn't part because of bad things. We parted because he was going one direction and I was going in another direction. They weren't bad directions, but we're not going the same way. And so that relationship changed. Are we friends when we see one another? Well, the answer is yes, but we're not as close as we once were, right? Job promotion, can that change a relationship? 100%, okay? Romantic relationships, does that destroy our friendships? Marriage, trash, right? Have you had those relationships? You got married, and because of marriage, your friendship kind of waned and decreased? Is that true or not true? Is it bad? Is it wrong? Does it happen? Absolutely. Because you're going to probably have to focus on that really close relationship. And then when you bring these things called children into this picture, they take more of your time. You become the ATM. All these things have to happen. And, well, friendships really kind of have to decrease. Okay? I have seen a lot of changes when envy comes in to play. Why did they get all the blessings here? Why isn't some of these things happening to me? Can that ruin relationships? Absolutely. Those relationships can change in that direction too because of jealousy, because of envy. That becomes in between the two people and it starts breaking away. The friends whose life has changed the least will usually have to make more accommodations. Did you hear that? So if you've changed the least, you're going to probably have to change the most if you want to be in that relationship. Okay? At least in the very beginning of that time. Okay, what's the next one? I think it kind of goes back to what you just said, Jay. Neglect. Neglect. If you don't spend time, if you don't push effort into your relationships, what's going to happen? They're going to go away. This is something that's really interesting to me, though. This just kind of sneaks up on you. Before you know it, you kind of step up, you look around and you go, what happened to Ben? Ben and I used to hang out all the time. What happened? And this really sneaks up because the less time you put into it, the less nurturing time you put into it, relationships are going to go in a different direction, okay? Through our stressful times, school, work, home, makes us less attentive and we're not going to be responding to our our relationships. Now, these are the two main reasons relationships fail normally. This is the hard one, right? So tell me about this one. Betrayal.
Hard feelings.
Hard feelings. Good. Anybody else? Okay, yeah, let me pin that. I want to get to in a second. How do you feel when you're betrayed by somebody who's close to you? A close friend. How do you feel?
Get hurt.
Yeah? Anybody over here in the class? Well, how do you feel?
Lose trust.
Tons of trust. Trust is huge, right? In any relationship. And you absolutely lose that trust.
Takes a lot for you to build friendships, new friendships moving forward after that betrayal.
Yeah, okay.
It's lessons learned. There's a lot of lessons to learn. You learn a lot more lessons from your failures than from your successes.
Yeah. Go to Acts chapter 15. If you remember 2 weeks ago, who are the two people we looked at who had an incredible relationship? Who was it? Paul and Barnabas, right? It's going to be Barnabas. After Paul he's seen Jesus on the road to Damascus. He's changed his life. He's gone away for 3 years. He's showed up at Jerusalem. He's trying to find the disciples. Nobody's messing with them because even after 3 years, they don't want nothing to do with Saul. Saul the persecutor. He has a definition. And so it's going to be Barnabas. He's going to come up and he's going to be the one to bring him into the fold, bring him in and introduce him to everybody else. It's going to be Saul and Barnabas. That's going to go out and start speaking to other people. They're going to be the ones going to go on the missionary journeys. They're going to be the ones who are going to make a huge impact and establish churches, right? And Paul, he changes his name to Paul, and then we got Paul and Barnabas. I mean, some amazing things happen, but tell me what happens in Acts chapter 15. You're going to have to find it. I'm not going to tell you the verses. Yes, I will, but what is it? 36 through 41. So somebody read 36 through 41 for me.
After some days, Paul said to Barnabas, "Let's return and visit the brothers and sisters in every city which we proclaim the word of the Lord, and see how they are." And Barnabas wanted to take John, called Mark, along with him also. But Paul was of the opinion that they should not take along with him this man who had deserted them in Pamphylia and had not gone with them to the word. Now it turned into such a sharp disagreement that they separated from one another, and Barnabas took Mark with him and sailed away to Cyprus. But Paul chose Silas and left after being entrusted by the elders to embrace the Lord. He was traveling through Syria and Sicilia, strengthening the churches.
We have a moment, right? Paul and Barnabas. Next step, what are we doing? I say we go back to where we've already been. We got to go back. We got to strengthen them. They need encouragement. They need teaching. They need us. We need to go back. So Barnabas says, "Hey, let's take John Mark." Saul goes, "No." Why?
He bailed on them.
He bailed on them. So they were on that previous missionary journey, and in Pamphylia, he said there, he said, "I'm out. I'm going home. This is hard. I don't know if I want to be a disciple right now. I got to step out." And so he goes back. Did that tick off Paul?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That did. It made him kind of angry. And so the moment goes, Barnabas, son of encouragement, seeing potential in people, bringing them in, bringing them along, building them up, says, "We got to rebuild this guy." And Paul goes, "There's no way. We already did this once. I don't have time to take care of them. We're doing something else." And he says, "No." So it's interesting. What does it say? They had a sharp what? Man, that's not a, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree conversation. This is a sharp disagreement. This is between relationship. I'm not doing this. And if we have to go our separate ways, we're done. So what happens? They go their separate ways. So who does Paul take? Who's Silas? We have another name for him. Okay. He takes Silas and he goes on. Barnabas takes John Mark and he goes on, and there's a parting of ways. Do friendships go through difficult times? Do friendships go through, this is a type of betrayal. We were supposed to be together. We're a team. This is what we do, man. It's you and me. Paul and Barnabas. It's Zeus and, what's the other guy? Huh? Hermes. Yeah, come on, man. Do you remember that moment? We had to pull our, tear our clothes and say we're not gods, we're just men. It's us. Well, it's done.
Is it a betrayal or just a difference of approach?
I would say
Baptist
it's. I say
they-
both.
They didn't hurt the church. They still continued to teach it.
Mhm.
So many times when we get our feelings hurt, we want to take down the whole institution. And they still went out and still did what they needed to do.
Absolutely. They don't stop doing what they're going to be doing. They go two different ways. But I'm talking about their relationship, their personal relationship. It's a type of betrayal. When I think somebody's got my back, and we should agree, that's hard.
Isn't,
This is difficult times.
in my mind, betrayal is always has some kind of lie. So what happened with Paul and Barnabas, to me, wasn't a betrayal. It might have been an end of the friendship, not because, Barnabas like snuck John Mark in
Hmm.
and was, and without Paul. I mean, I think you don't want to say that friends can never disagree.
Sure, absolutely.
And friends can never really disagree.
Absolutely. Guys, there's a lot of different definitions of betrayal. In your mind, betrayal may be something different, right? I'm just trying to show you friendships go through difficult times and hurt. And that can feel like a betrayal. If you hurt me, you betrayed me, you were supposed to be my guy.
Keep broken hearted.
What's that? Absolutely. Absolutely. So can there be mistrust? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a very general looking at this, right? And so you have this moment, and they're having a hard time. I'm just trying to show you that, man, things happen between people and these relationships break. There's something also about betrayal, and I think you alluded to it just a moment ago, Monk. Sometimes it's very unintentional. Do you know how many times people are in my office and say, man, we just had a huge fight, and I was like, why? Well, I don't know. And sometimes one friend doesn't know they hurt the other friend, but this friend is hurt. They feel betrayed, but this friend doesn't even know. How do we handle that situation? If you're this person, not this person who doesn't know what they just did, how do you handle it here? You feel like they betrayed you. Be honest. Huh?
You ignore them.
You ignore them? Yeah? Do you unfriend them on Facebook?
Or you just hide them so you don't see their.
Oh, yeah, you hit the little X.
You snooze them for 30 days.
Snooze them for 30 days. Is that the X?
No, that's snooze them for 30 days.
There's a button for that?
Yeah.
Man, I'm doing that tonight. All right.
Nice to know you, John.
Yeah. Wearing my shirt all the time, Jay. You're killing me. All right. Man, we don't handle that really well. And the one really bad thing is that we don't communicate, right? I feel like you've done something to me, but you never talk to them about this. There's a betrayal or an unintentional betrayal, but because of lack of communication, the relationship can be destroyed and gone, okay? If they're acting out of jealousy or anger or resentment to you, or if they're attacking you, there is a problem there, and you're going to have to address it. But there's times when it's unintentional. Just want to bring that to your attention. Okay. So how do we mend broken relationships? We're doing all right. Step one, count the cost. Okay. Is a fractured relationship even need to be mended? Right. So how do you do that? How do you count the cost? What are you measuring?
Is your relationship glorifying God?
Extremely good. That was my second point, not exactly in those words. If your friend is pressuring you to do things that are going against what God teaches us or go against your convictions or what you feel, you got to count that cost, right? Do I need to be around that person? Is that person going to be drawing me closer to God, or are they pulling me away from God? So sometimes when you start counting that cost, you go, maybe this relationship needs to be continue to be fractured, and we gently walk away from one another. So that's a good point. What's another thing? What's another cost?
We need to consider our role in breaking those relationships and coming back together and deciding to reconcile. You need to think about the damage that can also do to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes what I'm saying is, sometimes it's better to leave that relationship alone.
Yeah.
Because they're coming back together could cause more damage.
Okay, good.
You gotta also count the cost of the people in your group. Let's say, my dad and his brother had a horrible relationship, and it affected the entire family group.
Good.
So you have to also count the cost of the people that you love in that group, how you're breaking that relationship is going to affect them.
Good. So you're not just looking at that one relationship, you're looking at the relationships all the way around it as well. Good call. Good job.
I also think there's a difference between even a sharp disagreement and a goal for moral, or our moral goals. If there's a disagreement on a moral goal, that's really hard to rebuild
Sure.
at times.
Sure.
I like what Casey said about your role in the disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your role in that disagreement hurts you or the soul, you need to count that with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to look at that a little bit more as well. It's a good point. Strong.
Is the effort it's gonna take to mend the relationship worth the benefit to both sides of continuing the relationship?
So the effort in mending, is it worth it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think we need to take it to the Lord first.
Sure.
Because there are certain things that he can mend them.
Sure.
And if we're not paying attention, we're just trying to come in and do this on our strength, on our wisdom, on our insight.
Right.
And sometimes he can do the background work that we can't. And the other thought is, sometimes it's about their soul, and sometimes we're gonna help them get to heaven. And so we have to be the one to let our pride fall a little bit and to be willing to take that humbler position so that their soul has a better shot at getting, because it's not always two Christians, sometimes it's a Christian and non-Christian.
Sure.
You're trying to help them get to heaven, and so we have to take the back seat sometimes.
Yeah, so that's going to come up in a little bit of how to rebuild that respect in the very end here, is it's putting ourselves in the background and being very humble in this moment. And it's interesting what you're saying, and I don't know if you're saying this or not, but I want to just interject something. With what you're saying. A lot of times, when I'm thinking about these type of relationships, I'm talking about a little bit deeper ones. And sometimes I want to help that person come closer to Christ, but I don't know if I need to be a deep relationship there.
That's fair.
Maybe I'm going to be there, but I'm going to pull them along. So that's part of that cost, right? You got to figure that out. But bringing God into the very beginning of that, that's absolutely right. I was sitting in my office one time, somebody was sitting there and looking at me, and they're like, "Oh man, I just don't know what I'm going to do. This is what happened in a relationship." And I looked at them and I go, "You got to let go, man. You just got to let this one go. Let them know, hey, this hurt, and I'm going to let go of this relationship. God bless. Take care." And he was like, "Yeah, but I won't find another relationship." What? Is there moments when we hold on to bad relationships because we don't feel like we can have another or find another relationship? The answer is yes. 100% people do that. Some of you are looking confused, like, "Man, I'll drop them like a hot minute." But a lot of us who are maybe a little less, what's the word I'm thinking? Not self-centered. No, not self-aware.
Confident.
Self-confident will hold on to really bad relationships. Confident people, like pitching the ball in football, right? So a little less confident people hold on to bad relationships. You got to count the cost and see what's going on, okay? There are moments when a break needs to happen, and you bless that and you let it go. There's other times you look at it and go, "I need this relationship. I need to work through it." If you believe you get to that point, you get to step 2. Step 2 is making meaningful contact. This is not when you apologize. This is not when you let everything out in the open. This is not any of that. What am I trying to do? I'm making contact. Something like this. I'm going to read you my little quote here. "Our friendship is valuable to me." This is what I would say to that person. "And I miss seeing you. Is there any way that we can resolve what stands between us?" That's it. I'm not going to them and saying, "Hey, I'm sorry about this, and I know I did this, and I know that." Why are we not airing everything at this point in the process?
One thing, that conversation.
Yeah, this needs to be face to face. I agree. Please don't text Dr. Cash. All right, and don't Facebook me or message. Yeah. Okay. What's that? Feelings could still be raw. Maybe the person will say, "No." Okay, I've made the contact. Can this resolve? And they go, "Nope." Then I can just say, "Okay, God bless."
It'd be a long time.
It could be a long time. Time is about part of this. But I'm not.
You're giving them time and space to react.
Mhm.
Not jumping in there and say, "Man, forgive me for this, man, I'm sorry about that, man, you really hurt me." You're just making contact, giving them time to breathe.
Yeah. I talked to a minister friend of mine, and we were discussing these things. And he said, then I've had people in my office that want to rekindle relationships, but they're holding on to anger. They're holding on to what you did to me. They're holding on to all of these evil emotions, but they want to mend the relationship. Can it happen?
I think a lot of people say they want to mend a relationship, but they want to mend the relationship only on their own terms.
Oh, that's good.
And that's not a relationship, that's a tyranny.
Yeah. Woo, tyranny. Nice. You know, you're right on the, and that's what I'm talking about here too. We're holding on to all this resentment, but we're going to mend this, but on my terms. You can't do that, right? We have to come, and you guys already used this word humbly and saying coming to this. You got to release the resentment. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but we need to really release these things so that we can come together and have this relationship and rebuild that meaningful relationship. Remember, at this point, what are you doing? You're just asking, can we be resolved? Okay, next part. Forgive them the best that you can. Do you like forgiveness? Just curiosity.
We like to receive it a lot more than we like to give it.
Amen. All right, that's good. I like that. Jay, you're on a roll today, man. I absolutely love this saying. Are you ready? Let's just bury the hatchet. Does that work?
No.
Why do we have it and why do we use it? Why does that not work? Somebody really quickly said no.
We still know where the hatchet's buried.
And it's still sharp.
That's what I said.
Before we bury, like just on the sharpening wheel, right? Hold on for a second. If we have to get this back out.
That country and western song that says you buried the hatchet, but you leave the handle sticking out. Yeah.
Is that a real song?
Yeah, it is.
I look at Sally. She knows every country song known to mankind. She goes, "There's a country song for everything." I didn't know this one existed. Who sang it?
Dr. Brooks.
Is that country? Okay, just a second. All right. Early Garth Brooks, I like. Late Garth Brooks, I don't know what he's doing. There's another piece of scripture that Jesus tells us. He says, turn the other cheek. You like that one? Yes or no? Why?
It opens you up to being plastic.
It does. It feels like that. It does feel like that. Am I opening myself to be hurt again? What is Jesus telling us to do in that passage? Find it for me. Go ahead and find it. Turn the other cheek. You can Google it. I don't mind. But I need somebody to read it for me. So can you find it in your Bible and you can read it for me? Well, I want to know what Jesus is teaching in that. Is he just telling you, keep turning the cheeks and just take your shots? Is he telling you that person needs to be in control no matter what, so you just take your shots? Does it mean that you're supposed to be a coward? What does it mean? What's Jesus talking about? Who has it? And go ahead and read it.
Matthew 5:18.
Yeah.
You have heard that it was said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth, but I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If someone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to them the other also. And if someone wants to see you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. If someone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you.
Good stuff. Powerful teaching, right? What is he saying to you? What's Jesus teaching us? Humble. Set yourself aside. Put your pride aside. Right on the money. That's a part of forgiveness. Huge part. I would say almost number one. What else? Not about me? Good. You know what forgiveness does? It protects you from what? What does forgiveness protect you of?
Sin.
From sin. Good. Bitterness. Say it again. A hard heart. All of those are really good. Growing up, I have 3 brothers. So when one brother did something to another brother, what did that brother do? Retaliated. Same level, right?
No.
We knocked that up an inch. Sorry, for us, a centimeter. Right? And then,
Canadians.
I'm sorry, the whole world's in the metric system. I don't know why you're not. That's fine. We're going to let that go. But man, so I knock it up a notch. I hit him harder. Well, what does he do?
He goes and gets another brother.
No, that's actually me. I'm the youngest, so I usually get one and come at him. But what we normally do is we go back and forth and back and forth. Every time you feel like you're satisfied and you got them enough, what are they going to do to you?
Absolutely.
They're going to hit you again. You might not even see it coming. They could be planning something, right? Just hurt. It could be words, it could be actions, it could be all of those things. What does forgiveness do? Takes it away. There's no retaliation. I'm out. I'm done. I'm finished. This is where we are. So some of the things that are part of forgiveness, you kept saying it, pride. See the situation from their perspective. Can we just stop and look up from their perspective? Because usually when we walk into any of these situations, what are we coming with? My perspective. Somebody said about me. Was that you? Or was that, I don't remember who it was. It's all about me. So change the perspective. Look on their end. What's going on? How do you see this? Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you're seeing. I want to figure this out. Remember, somebody said this as well. Remember, you have a part in this. This is not one-sided. Relationships are two-sided. What have I done to be a part of this? When I went through my divorce, my counselor said the greatest thing to me, what was your part? Well, I was blaming her for everything. And he's like, sorry, you're on the chopping block too. Let's walk through it. And it hurt. Okay? What's your part? You can never balance the scales, ever. And so we need to come to this forgiveness. This is an open conversation. This is talking. This is saying, okay, now how do we get through this? And we're asking for forgiveness to one another. This is actually saying, will you forgive me? Okay? The interesting thing is we haven't even diagnosed the problem yet. We're just talking about forgiveness. Why are these switched? Why is it not figure out the problem, then ask for forgiveness? Why are we going for forgiveness first, then to diagnose the problem?
It's really hard to see clearly, but we're still focused on what we need.
Okay, really good. If you don't have clarity, then you can't figure out the problem. Really good. We're going to leave it at that. That's really good. Okay? You got to ask the question at this point, what happened? What happened? Okay? One reason we avoid diagnosing the problem is that we don't want to acknowledge there is a problem. The easiest thing to do is say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. And if you don't deal with the problem, what happens? Any relationship on this one, it festers, right? And it turns into something really ugly, right? Don't you love it when something festers? Man, later on there's pus, and there's all this other stuff. At some point, that's going to pop, right? It's going to be really ugly and disgusting because we don't let that. Did that analogy really sink in for you? Because we're having lunch in a little bit. You good? All right. Got to diagnose the problem. Got to diagnose the problem. We forget everybody's human, all right? And we have, and a good friend can hurt us. They can let us down. We can do the same thing. Let's go. Let's work through that, okay? A lot of times we see these things as black and white, but within relationships, there is a lot of gray. We got to work through those moments, okay? Hey, we're doing really good, guys. Really good job. I've never been through all of my material. Number 5, rebuild respect. Rebuild respect. A couple quotes from you. I don't remember where I got them. A mutual belief in each other's goodness. Have a mutual belief in each other's goodness. Remove respect from friendship, and you have taken away the most splendid, ornament it possesses. Don't you like that? You take out respect from a relationship. It's one of the blessings that you have within it. All right, so how do you rebuild the respect? So if you've counted the cost, you said, hey, this is worth rebuilding. I want this friend. We go up there, we make contact. Can we figure this out? Answer is yes. We walk through forgiveness. We talk, we forgive one another. We're putting our bitterness aside so that we can talk and figure out what went wrong, why did it go wrong. How then do you rebuild respect? If you notice here, I'm not talking about rebuild love. I'm not talking about trust. I'm talking about respect within the relationship.
We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and you know, a lot of times you have a falling out, but you didn't realize your buddy had a blind side or a weakness.
Sure.
But when you rebuild that, now you know.
Yeah.
And now you can protect them where they are weak.
Yeah. It could go back to, remember that unintentional moment I told you about? Sometimes we can make somebody mad in our relationship unintentionally. This is like, hey man, you hurt me. This is when it hurt. You did this. Man, I didn't know. Well, now I know. I'm rebuilding. Good.
The other thing here is that despite as much as we want to make this work personally, like if we have a broken relationship, it takes both sides to come together and really, really invest in that for it to be successful. Because if it's one-sided, it'll never work.
Absolutely. Two-sided has to happen. One-sided doesn't work at all.
You also have to expect that to take time.
Amen. Somebody else said that earlier too. Time. Yeah, absolutely. Time does heal, and this takes time. Hurt takes time to walk through. A lot of times, I'm going to stay on this just for a second. A lot of times we want to get through as fast as possible. Hey, everything's good. See you next Sunday. We're good. Well, hold on. If we work through it a little bit more and dig through it a little bit more, what happens to that relationship on this level? Your relationship becomes way stronger, way deeper. 100%.
They have to have time to use it. So you have the open mind to build it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you didn't hear what she said, you're going to have to take time to rebuild that trust, rebuild that respect, and it's going to take time to see that within the relationship. Yeah? Yeah?
John,
Yeah. I don't know who said it.
step 3, when you forgive somebody, you can't tie your emotions into forgiveness. You have to make that choice.
Yeah.
The forgiveness after the forgiveness. That's when the hurt is, that's when you have to restore the relationship there.
Good.
Forgiveness,
Right on the money.
one moment.
Right on the money.
But I think also, like, steps 1, 2, and 3 are with you.
Yeah.
Step 4 and 5 are with both of you.
Yeah.
And like, I think we always get this natural inclination to think that forgiveness is a 2-way street, but it's not. Forgiveness is you choosing to release the hurt.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good stuff. Hey, let me give you 2 things. What the book came out with. If you want to rebuild this respect, start thinking about your friend in a positive way. Go through their positive characteristics. Start thinking about them. Start talking about it, okay? A lot of times I go through their admirable, this is what they said, quality, okay? What traits do they have that's going to help me make me be a better person? Walk through those. Look at them in a positive light. Change your mindset, because if you're hurt, sometimes your mindset goes negative really fast. Well, go ahead and change that mindset and look at the positives. The other thing they talked about in the book was own up. We said it all the way through. Own up to your end of the relationship by offering a sincere apology, not for being a kind of friend that you could have been. So take ownership of it. Talk to them about it. And then I love what you guys were saying there. It's going to take time, and it's going to be take these opportunities. We talked about this earlier, actually, when a friend to die for. Just a lot of opportunities to create a very deep relationship. Let me ask you, let's go back really fast. I got like 2 minutes. What happens with John Mark and Paul? Well, remember, we had a break off. Everybody goes their own ways. What happens with John Mark and Paul?
There's reconciliation.
Why? How do you know?
Well, in one of the letters, it regards.
Yeah. Anybody? Hey, look for it really fast. Come on, Google, fast. I have 1 minute. You have 30 seconds. You guys don't Google. Come on, Rachel. Use those thumbs. I don't have my phone. I don't carry my phone. I think he asked to send for him, if my mind's working right.
That's what I'll say, beneficial to my age.
Yeah, he's beneficial. Yeah, where is it? Oh, he didn't Google it. Well, I only have a minute now. But what happens within this, he goes, hey, John Mark proves himself. Paul comes around, and there's a rekindling of that relationship, right? But it goes back to what you're saying. There's some time. John Mark proved himself within the ministry. Paul goes, hold on. Maybe this guy is what I need. And he becomes part back in the relationship. So there's times when reconciliation really does a good job, and it works what's going on, and you can rebuild that respect. But it's going to take time. You're going to have to be open and be really honest. So here's the deal. I need to end our class, really good class, and really good input on all of that. Next week, I think there's a missionary coming in. But I believe we're all going to be in one class. And I'm going to guess it's going to be in the auditorium, because there's no way. Am I right? Yeah. Am I wrong?
I think it's like 2 minutes.
I know you're in who sent me a text message? Buck did. So just be heads up, okay? If nobody's in here and you walk in, we're probably in the auditorium. Now the problem here is that I just cut out a week of my teaching. And I got to be done by the end of August, which is fine. Because in September, we're going to start a new series. David Lowe and I are going to be teaching on the Holy Spirit in here. And I'm really excited about that lesson in that series. You've been asking for that for a while. And I brought in some muscle. So I told David he's in charge. So I'm his sidekick. Really great. So that's going to start in September. Yacht Club, I know a lot of you in here. You guys have a class that's beginning in September. I'm going to finish that class next door so you guys have that classroom. And so I know those couple things that are coming up. Anything else that we need to talk about? Next Sunday night, it is ice cream social. Bring your homemade ice cream. We're going to have worship, little short. We'll have our normal worship. I'll end my part a little early. Then we're going to have homemade ice cream social next Sunday night. Okay, so bring them up. Hey, if you're going to bring ice cream from the store, just bring it. Sally told me about this lady that, the brick ice cream that comes in just a brick. She put the brick inside a homemade ice cream container and then brought it. All right, don't do that, okay? You're gonna make homemade ice cream, bring homemade ice cream. You're gonna bring the brick, bring the brick. We don't care, just bring some ice cream. We'll probably have it in here, and we're gonna have that ice cream social. So that is next Sunday night. Ice cream social up here. Sally, am I forgetting anything? That's all I know of right now? Okay. Okay. Good job, guys. Great class. Get out of here. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Yes.